Howdy folks, this is Dr. Michael Leone coming at you from this cabin. Today we're going to talk about what I think is the most important topic out there that is always overlooked and I don't know why, and that is finding your happiness. Okay, so I'm Dr. Michael Leone. I'm a 2016 proud Norse alumnus. I'm a chiropractor in the Northern Kentucky area, and I also happen to teach at the finest university known to man, and that is Northern Kentucky University. I teach anatomy lab on Fridays, and I'm very happy to do so. So let's jump right in. What we're going to talk about, I think, is quite literally one of the most important lessons that a young college student can learn, and that is finding happiness. And the reason this topic I think is so important is one, I think it is so overlooked in today's society, but two, I think we do it wrong. As college students, you think, okay, you always have this carrot in front of you. You've got this next task, this thing to do next. I have a test coming up. I've got midterms coming up. I've got homework. I've got stuff to read. All of these things, regardless of what your major is, there is always a deadline, and that is the end of the semester, and you always think that reaching that deadline is going to bring you happiness. But I've got news for you, folks. Stress doesn't end in college. I went to college once. I know what it's like. And you always think, oh, as soon as I get the degree, then I'm finally going to be less stressed. And the truth of the matter is that is absolutely not the way that it works. So the key is to find mechanisms to deal with stress, and the key is to find your own happiness. Because we're given this facade in society that happiness is an external thing. And I can tell you happiness, health, well-being, all of those are an inside job. There isn't a doctor on the planet that can make you healthy. That only happens within the human body. Just like there's not a video game, car, piece of technology, or app that can make you happy, happiness is an internal job. It only comes from within. And when you learn how to find this happiness, that's when you can apply it to everything else. And happiness, folks, is infectious. Okay? It's infectious. So leading your own happy life brings more to the others around you. And that's being a Norse. Baby. All right. So jumping into it, how do we find happiness? Okay? That, if it were one simple blanket statement, then it'd be easy. We could sell it to you. But you can't buy happiness in a liquor store or at a college campus. You can only develop it. So how does a person individually, person to person, find their own happiness? Well, it starts with finding who you are first. Okay? If you find who you are first, if you find a major premise of your life and you deduce the rest of your life based off of that major premise, everything's going to go better instead of trying to add things to your life to figure it out backwards. If you find who you are first, you can set yourself up for bigger things. So, for example, I think we do society backwards. I think everything's backwards. You're supposed to go to school and learn. You're supposed to find a significant other. Then you're supposed to get a job. You're supposed to make money and have a profession. And we push all of that on you as things that you need to do first without pushing you to find yourself first. If you don't figure out yourself first, how can you figure out what you want to do? How can you figure out a job? You can do the job that everyone else wants you to do, but wouldn't it make more sense to figure out what motivates you first and then find a job that corresponds with that thing? If you don't find yourself first, but you're out to find a significant other, that if you don't know you, how is someone else going to know you? If you're trying to build business connections, network, relationships that we do throughout our college experience, how can you accurately share your values with someone else if you don't know them? So the person that they're meeting is a facade. It's not even real. So anyways, it would make so much more sense if we find ourselves first and then deduce the rest of our life from it. Our goals, our ambitions, our career paths, our loved ones come naturally once you find yourself first. So how do you find yourself? You are not a static person. The person you were yesterday is not the person you are tomorrow. Yeah, probably is. But the person you were a year ago probably isn't the person you are today. So who is that person? Because we know it's going to change regularly. Here's what you do. Let me give you action goals, steps, instead of just say, hey, find yourself, because that doesn't help. How do you find yourself? Take a snapshot in time of where you are right now and think back for the past month or back for the past 2 months and think about what your actions are. If we can objectify and look logically at the way that you handled certain things in your day-to-day life, then we have the answer right there to who you are. So think back to a month or 2 months and evaluate yourself critically and say, what things made me happy? What things upset me? What problems did I face and how did I react to them? What successes did I have and why did they make me feel the way that I felt? So take a moment and invest in yourself and invest in one of these bad boys. It's called a journal. And pour some of the stuff you have up in here in one of these to find out who you've been in the past 2 months. Now, who you were is not a death sentence. Who you were does not dictate who you will become. So let's look forward to the future. We want to paint 2 pictures here in that journal. We want to paint who were we, because it tells us who we are right now. And we want to paint who do we want to be, because somewhere between who am I and who do I want to be is where you find the true you. Your thoughts, your ambitions, your experiences are all wrapped up somewhere between those two. So how do you find out who you want to be? Not who society wants you to be, not who celebrities want you to be, not who your professors want you to be, not who your parents want you to be. Who do you want to be? How do we figure that out? So another exercise, this is how we're going to paint our future picture of who we want to be. I want you to think of 3 people in your life. 3 people that you adore, or that 3 people that inspire you, or 3 people that you just really like. And I want you to take those 3 people and write down as many qualities as you can about what you like about them. What are these qualities that say, okay, I like this about them, I like that about them? This could be a coach, a classmate, a worship leader, a loved one, a parent. And write down just certain qualities that they possess that you really admire. And within those qualities, you can look at those and you can start applying them to yourself, and you say, oh, that is who I want to be. When people hear my name, I want them to think these qualities. So folks, that is where you have the 2 pictures that you've painted. Once you compile these things in a journal, you figure out who have I been and who do I want to be. And between those 2 pictures is who you are. Okay? Now, application comes next. You're at the greatest university in all the land, luckily, where NKU gives you so many unique opportunities. The size is so beautiful that you can get really special attention for developing yourself while being at a large, powerful university. So take advantage of everything around you at NKU, and take that person that you found yourself to be on your own, you didn't find who everyone else wanted to be, and deduce what you want to do from there. As you find yourself, you can narrow down your why. And in an ideal world, anyone watching this video already goes to NKU, and the reason you go to NKU is because you already found your why, you found your direction of how you want to change the world. So that's ideal. If I were to bet, and I'm not a gambling man, that's not 100% of the people watching this. So, let's get back to the real point of the video. Once you find yourself, you can find your purpose. Who cares? Why do you find your purpose? Doesn't matter. Who gives a darn? Here's why. If you've ever done something just for the sake of doing it because someone said to, you find out very quickly that you lose motivation for it, and you don't care. If you have an internal engine that pushes you towards something, that drives action. And the thing is, when you subscribe to a higher calling because you found a purpose, it's infectious. You go to bed waiting to want to start the next day. You don't roll out of bed, you jump out of bed. And when you are excited to do what you do, you're going to be better at it. When you have found a purpose, you have found a why, you have found your direction, it's going to motivate not only you, but everyone around you. Yes, people fall in love with people, but people follow leaders because of what that leader represents. They don't follow leaders just because of the person they are. They have a battle cry. They have a higher purpose. They have something larger than themselves that those around them can cling to. Everybody wants purpose. And when someone has it, those around them want a piece of it. So when you find yourself and you find your purpose, you naturally draw others into it that want purpose as well. You can show them that purpose. And most importantly, you can show them how to be happy. Because happiness is infectious. Being around somebody happy makes others happy. And that's true leadership. Leadership is not just a chain of command and an organizational script. Leadership is an infectious trait that can only grow from a higher calling, from purpose. So that's my message today, folks. Do yourself a favor, invest in yourself and invest in a journal. Pour your thoughts out into it. Find the person you are and the person you want to be, and find what can grow from there. And when you develop yourself, you develop happiness. When you develop happiness, you develop a following. And that is truly Norse leadership, folks. And that's changing the community with every person you meet. So thanks for taking some time out of your day to listen to this video and look at my ugly face. I'm Dr. Michael Leone. If you see me on campus, you probably won't recognize me because I'll be in a mask. But throw a wave my direction and Norse up, baby. Thank you.